Hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Nigel here once again, and this is another wrestling review. So, today was NXT Vengeance Day 2023, and we're gonna review it. Like I said, for this year, I'm gonna try to review every single pay-per-view event, or in WWE's case, a premium live event, and yes, that includes the NXT stuff. So, Vengeance Day, tonight, the first NXT premium live event, and to not be held at where they were previously. This is the first time since Takeover Portland back in 2020 that NXT is traveling. The Capital Wrestling Center. I couldn't think of the name of it, but this event takes place took place, I should say, at the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, and naturally, Charlotte Flair, or the current SmackDown Women's Champion, did the opening narration for the stuff we would see in the show and everything. And so for first time that NXT's been on the road, well, in terms of like premium live event / pay-per-view, anyway, but first time that they took over a stadium in a way. So does this mean we'll be going back to NXT takeover events? Possibly. But without further ado, let's get right into it. For starters, as always, I'm not professional wrestling reviewer or analyst, just a man who enjoys a good time, and for the most part, I had a pretty good time watching the show and everything. You kind of take the good with the bad, but which there honestly wasn't a whole lot like bad on the show, but we'll get into that and everything, and I'm gonna try something new with like these reviews and everything. If it's like if it's just like a singular match, which I often do, I'm not really gonna do this. But for like a full event like this one, I'm gonna talk about the match I like the most and the match I like the least. Starting with the North American Championship, as Wes Lee defended and defeated Dijak, and you talk about a barn burner. This match was awesome. Like, this was such a fun match, and I like absolutely loved and adored this match. And by the way, for those of you who haven't seen this review before, for those of you who have, you know how this works. But for those of you who haven't, pretty much I'm going to be talking about what I liked and what I disliked about each match and everything. But this match, it was hard to find stuff to dislike, because these two guys definitely tore the house down, and definitely a bit different but somewhat similar in styles. Wes Lee, both men very like acrobatic and everything, very much high flyers, but Dijak more of the size and strength advantage. Although Wes Lee showing off his strength a few times in this match, which was pretty cool to see. It ended with Dijak about to nail Wes Lee with I think this time it was gonna be a moonsault, but before it was like a senton, harkening back to, ironically, Takeover Portland, when Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic battled in that awesome match, also for the North American title. So I think it was done on purpose, but Wes Lee was trapped in the chair. Dijak was about to dive onto him, but Wes Lee saved by Tony D'Angelo and Stax. And then Wes Lee, he hitting his, handspring overhead kick. I don't think the move has an official name, but yeah, so he hit that, and Wes Lee walked away with the victor. But definitely a fantastic match. Definitely go out of your way to check out that match, because they definitely tore the house down. And I'm gonna be honest, as I talked about, I was gonna say which match was the best and which one was the worst of the night, at least in my opinion. And this match definitely the best match of the night. The other matches were okay, pretty good, but they could not compare to this one. Like what a way to kick off the show Oh, and definitely gave it like that familiar NXT feel here, and I'm sure the crowd in Charlotte was happy to have NXT back on the road so they can see awesome stuff like this in person. If I had to find something to nitpick in this match, it'd probably be that Wesley kind of got help a little bit in order to put away Dijak. Although obviously Wesley probably didn't ask for the help, and Wesley didn't. Normally, what they do if it's like a situation like that where the face gets helped out by the heels, the face looks like upset, like they're upset that like they were helped out by the heel. They didn't want the help or anything. But Wesley, that didn't really happen. He just celebrated and then they moved on. So I'm guessing this is going to be continued on Tuesday. Of course, Tony D'Angelo also kind of feuding with Dijak at the moment. But yeah, so really, really fantastic way to start off the show for sure. Next up was for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships as Fallon Henley and Kiana James, who were accompanied by Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen, took on Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, who were champions. Interesting tidbit. They talked about how Katana Chance and Kaden Carter are the longest reigning women's tag team champions throughout the entire company, which honestly is impressive, I'll say, but not that impressive when you consider there's only two women's tag team championships in WWE. There's the main roster one and the NXT ones, but still longest reigning. But it actually came to an end tonight, and Fallon Henley and Kiana James. From what I've been able to gather from what they were talking about, bitter rivals turned tag team partners, kind of like an odd couple pairing, which is something that they've done before in wrestling. It's nothing really new, but this one was okay, not as good as the other one, as the opener, but I guess a match like this, you gotta give the crowd a chance to catch their breath, and that opener is definitely gonna be hard to top. But on other interesting sort of clash of conflicts here, because Fallon Henley wants to win the championships legit. She wants to do it the legit way. Kiana James ain't having none of that, and actually, unknowing to Fallon, actually helps her out. She grabs Kaden Carter's arms as Fallon rolls her up, and then it allows them to get the win and the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. So congratulations to them. But it's weird because it wasn't addressed. Like Fallon, we saw it in the replay and everything, but neither Fallon nor Josh Briggs or Brooks Jensen, none of them acknowledged it. None of them said, "Hey, wait a minute, you doing kind of like a dirty tactic there. What the heck? I want to win it the legit way." None of that. Still, I guess maybe it'll be addressed on Tuesday, yeah, on NXT. But otherwise, okay match. A little bit too much arguing between Fallon and Kiana, but not as much as there probably could have been. It could have probably been a lot more. There was some, but otherwise, yeah. So congrats to them as a team in winning the tag team titles. The next matchup was Carmelo Hayes with Trick Williams going against Apollo Crews in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Not gonna lie, I was expecting a little bit more for this one. Like both men still put on a really, really solid match, in my opinion, but not as good as it could have been because I really, really enjoy watching both these guys in the ring. I've always really been a big fan of Apollo Crews, like a big man who can move. That's always something that's been really cool to me. Carmelo Hayes loves some of the stuff I'm seeing with him. I haven't seen a whole lot of Carmelo Hayes stuff. I've seen some of his matches, but seeing him in the ring and seeing how these two can and have put on really, really good matches in the past, this one fell a little flat in my opinion, but it was still okay for the most part. Dabba-Kato returning to NXT to help out Apollo Crews at first, but Uh, it was for naught. Dabba-Kato took out Trick Williams as Trick tried to cheat with the chair and everything, but we'll say that 5 times fast. But Carmelo still took out Apollo and clean sweeped him 2-0, which was interesting that they went that route. And then afterwards, Dabba-Kato turned on Apollo Crews. So, first of all, nice of them to reference like the history between Dabba-Kato and Apollo Crews. Of course, Dabba-Kato was Commander Aziz, hanging out with Apollo Crews while Apollo was in his heel Nigerian royalty run, and where he was, Intercontinental Champion and everything. And so, good to see them reference that there, and it looks like they're going to turn that into an angle. But yeah, interesting that Apollo Crews got swept in this match, 2-0. Next up was the Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Tag Team Championships. It was as the New Day, the NXT Tag Team Champions, defended against Gallus, Pretty Deadly, and Chase University. A couple questions. First of all, where's Joe Coffey? It was Mark Coffey and Wolfgang in the match, representing Gallus, but Joe Coffey nowhere to be found, not even accompanying them to the ring. He might have been injured. I couldn't find anything online concerning injury for Joe Coffey, so if anyone knows, please let me know. Probably means I gotta watch NXT more regularly and everything. The New Day, of course, defending Pretty Deadly, the former tag team champions, lost them to the New Day, and then Chase University, who kind of have the home field advantage and everything, with Andre Chase being from the region of Charlotte, North Carolina. But my other question is, why do they, like, whenever it's like a fatal 4-way match, it's either one of two ways. Either it's a situation where all four guys, all four teams have one guy each in the ring all at the same time and they tag out, or it's like only two guys in the ring and then you can tag in a team and everything. And they went with the second one for this match. I hate that format. It's so dumb. Like, it is so annoying. But still, there's a lot of really cool action throughout in the match. Gallus putting Duke Hudson through the announce table. Surprisingly, Gallus picking up the win over the and actually pinning Xavier Woods in the New Day, so they're the new NXT Tag Team Champions. The way they were building up and everything, it seemed like Chase U was going to walk out the champions, but that didn't seem to be the case. He's Gallus winning here. Congrats to them. But yeah, just the way they did the Fatal 4-Way, like, it is so annoying. Like, why did they do that? It's not the first time they've done it, and I already know it's not going to be the last, but it's really weird how they do it like that. Like, hey, why not just have all four guys in the ring and everything? But another funny part of the match is where Pretty Deadly taking a bulk of the offense. Gallus getting shots in on them, the New Day getting shots in on them, Chase University getting shots in on them. Like, it was actually kind of funny. I think it was Kit Wilson who said, like, "Stop chopping me." But yeah, so pretty good match. But that format of the Fatal 4-Way tag team match, not a big fan of that. Next up, Roxanne Perez in a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. She defends against both Gigi Dolan and Jacy Jayne of Toxic Attraction, and props to them, because even with their leader Mandy Rose being released and everything, Toxic Attraction, they're still finding things to do. They're in this situation, and something they built up, not just in the build up to this match, but in the match themselves, is the whole will they, won't they. Will they turn on each other and fight each other? Because that's usually how it goes, and it's been teased for weeks, starting with that battle royal to determine the number one contender, which is how we got here in the first place, with Jacy Jayne and Gigi Dolan eliminating each other in the match, and then this triple threat was made, and it seemed like Jane and Dolan were gonna like be feuding against each other, but then and they swerved, they attacked Roxanne Perez, and they're pretty much gonna take her out, and every woman for herself after that. And that's kind of what they did throughout the match. Both of them went after Roxanne, and then eventually they came to blows, and then it turned to a triple threat proper. And really cool spot in the ending where they set up the table, and they can because it's no disqualification, which the fans were begging for the "We Want Tables" chant. I feel like almost every show, whether it's like Raw, SmackDown, NXT, or like the pay-per-view / premium live events, the fans always want tables. Tables are fun for the most part, except when they don't break. Shout out to Botchamania. To see some excellent not table breaks. Hashtag I am the table. But they got their table spot where Roxanne was going for her. Not JC was going in for a suplex. And then Roxanne like countered, and then she was going for pop rocks. But then Gigi, he tried to intercept. Roxanne kicks her. Gigi goes through the table. Then Roxanne hits the pop rocks, super pop rocks actually, off the turnbuckle, the top rope and everything. And, it's more like the middle rope because she like flipped down onto the middle rope and then did the pop rocks from there. But it's still a pretty cool moment, and Roxanne retains against both Gigi and JC. If I had to nitpick again, and I feel like it was a little too much leaning into the whole will they won't they come to blows and everything, and but that's kind of normal for like multi-man matches where it's like every man / woman for herself, where her like usually they tease the tension of this team they're in there, it's every person for themselves, they're gonna turn on each other. Either it's a situation where they don't turn on each other till kind of late, and for Gigi and JC here, it was kind of during the midpoint of the match, or they do like Shawn Michaels in had Survivor Series 2009 when DX was in a triple threat against John Cena for the W Championship, which that match I reviewed, so if you haven't already, go check out that match. But where Shawn, in like the first 30 seconds, it's probably even less time than that, took out Triple H with Sweet Chin Music. So it usually goes one of two ways. And that's what we saw here, but otherwise pretty decent match, pretty good match. And then the main event in the steel cage, Braun Breaker defending the NXT Championship against Grayson Waller, and Braun Breaker successfully defended it against Grayson Waller, though you kind of saw it coming. Grayson, of course, attacks Braun, starting off the match and everything, and then they go from there. And in the hype package, they show Braun like trying to go after Grayson being inside Braun's head, causing Braun to like take himself out through the barricade. Braun trying to spear Grayson through the barricade, but he ends up wiping out himself through the barricade. And then there was the whole rope incident the last time they fought for the NXT Championship at New Year's Evil. So Shawn Michaels says, steel cage match, there has to be a winner. Surprisingly, the option to escape the cage to win, not present in this match. The cage is more so just to make sure that they don't get out and to make sure there is a definitive winner. But you can't win by escaping the cage, which is kind of weird, admittedly. But who am I to question the Heartbreak Kid? But a pretty evenly matched for the most part, with Grayson outsmarting Braun on a lot of fronts, and getting a lot of offense in. Braun using a lot of that power, that speed, and everything. Braun with a suplex to Grayson off the cage after Grayson was going for a diving attack off the cage. Braun suplexed him off, nailed with the spear after Grayson told him to hit him. And that's exactly what Braun did. Braun gets to beat the crap out of Grayson and retain, for the most part, in this match. And then afterwards, it says Braun celebrating on top of the cage. Carmelo and Trick walk out. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams walk out. So it looks like the next challenger is going to be Carmelo Hayes, at least for the NXT Championship. And it's interesting because if you remember back in 2021 in War Games, names. It was Team NXT, which was, or Team NXT Black and Gold, I should say, which was Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Pete Dunne, and LA Knight against Team NXT 2.0, which was Braun Breaker, Grayson Waller, Carmelo Hayes, and Tony D'Angelo. Oh, so after this means that with this match that happened tonight, and then the match that potentially is going to be happening between Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes, that means Braun will have fought two of his teammates from that War Games match. And now we're just waiting on the hat trick, and Braun versus Tony D'Angelo subsequently, which honestly. Which honestly wouldn't be a bad thing. Like Tony, I feel like Braun and Tony definitely two of the guys, and Carmelo, and Grayson to an extent, and definitely guys that really helped carry NXT 2.0. But as for this match itself, I thought it was okay. Them being mostly evenly matched for the most part was pretty nice. A little bit too much cowardice from Great Hasten, but otherwise it was a pretty decent match. In terms of like my favorite and least favorite matches of the night, for my favorite, I got of course I mentioned that NXT North American Championship match with Wesley taking on Dijak. Definitely a really solid match. Both men they just went to war, and they definitely put on a fantastic match against each other. It was high energy. It was a lot of fun to watch. It's just beautiful stuff. Bit spotty at times, but that's not a bad thing. I feel like a lot of people give like a lot of spots a bad name because they're just doing a lot of high moves, and doing a lot of like the big moves just to get the crowd to pop, which honestly is kind of wrestling in its essence. You want the crowd to like be excited for what's going on, so spots like that, spots and everything, and I don't frown upon them like most people do for whatever reason that they do it. But in terms of my least favorite match, the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship, and it's funny that the matches happen one right after the other, but yeah, it was an okay match, just kind of the weakest on the show, to be honest. But otherwise, pretty solid show for the most part, I thought. But that is going to do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload videos so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below, did you like, dislike this event? NXT Vengeance Day. Do you dislike my review of it? And let me know why in the comments. Do you think NXT will do the takeover events again now that they're traveling? Stand and Deliver is going to be in Los Angeles. It's meaning they're going to be right alongside the main show, WrestleMania in Hollywood. And if Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes do in fact face off for the title, which hopefully they do you think it's going to be a good match? I think it's going to be a really solid match. Sometimes the different styles are a good thing. Of course, Carmelo, more athletic, high flyer, or all that stuff. Meanwhile, Braun, more like the power guy. Braun is very athletic and is able to do some high flying moves, but definitely more of like a strength and power guy. But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.